Okay, Black Lives Matter. Remember the big protests? Remember the riots? If you were watching this show, we had a full and honest conversation about Black Lives Matter and what they stood for. And it's no surprise to me that it turned out to be a great big scam. You've seen the reports by now. Black Lives Matter leaders buying very expensive houses. This one in Los Angeles, $6 million, 7,400 square feet. Now, this has disturbed a lot of people. People, by the way, of all ethnicities and all races. What is going on here? Well, into the fray comes Todd Rokita. He is the Attorney General of the state of Indiana. And Indiana, the Indiana AG, is actually suing Black Lives Matter over this and other issues. Mr. Attorney General Todd Rokita, welcome to Newsmax. How are you?
I'm good, Greg. Thanks for your interest in covering this.
Absolutely.
This is an important issue.
Indeed. And do me a favor first, Indiana, Black Lives Matter, you know, it's not necessarily, we don't put those two together in our heads right away. Why you and what are you trying to do here?
Well, really, I'm not the only one. Certainly other states, even some Democrat attorneys general are looking into this. And every state's nonprofit laws are a little bit different, and our consumer protection laws are a bit different. But what I saw back in February, when you first exposed this and others in an accurate media setting laid out the facts, it became obvious that anyone at the state level or federal level or even local level that has a duty to protect consumers would naturally ask some basic questions. First of all, whether it's based on complaints or not, the idea of which Indiana donors donated, how much did they donate, what about Indiana's corporations, woke or otherwise, what their donations look like, and most importantly, where did the money go? Because when you look at this organization's IRS filings, you find that there are some tremendous discrepancies. For example, in the 2020 period, Black Lives Matter bragged about raising $90 million, spending about 20, a little over 20. Yet the filing that they made for the first half of calendar year 2020 shows that they raised zero revenue. So there's some and then, of course, the news reports about the mansions that they bought and other things. No legitimate nonprofit that I know of operating in the state of Indiana or elsewhere has officers that can buy these kinds of houses, of this kind of real estate. So where did they get the money? Where did it go? Was it BLM money or not? Simple questions.
And valid ones, valid ones. Let me ask you this. After George Floyd died, there was a rush. We saw all these protests and people were falling all over themselves to give money to Black Lives Matter. And for a lot of people, I don't think they did any due diligence. You know, Black Lives Matter was synonymous and they just, okay, let's send money. Corporations did that as well, big time, without the normal kind of vetting that they would do. At the time, in the summer of 2020, did Black Lives Matter say how this money would be spent? Do we know that at this point? I mean, could their defense be like, hey, this we're Black Lives Matter. We didn't tell you we were going to be responsible for this money. No.
And look, we're in a lawsuit right now because they failed to respond to our basic questions, right? The ones I've described that aren't hard at all. And we're going to ask the court to force them to respond, or we're going to stop them from operating or at least fundraising in the state of Indiana. But any defense to this that would say, hey, we never told you what we're going to do with the money, therefore we're okay, would initiate a lot of additional lawsuits based on fraud, because that's what it would be. If you look at their mission statement, they are explicit in what they claim to do. We can agree or not agree with their approach or their mission statement, but at least they had one. And based on that premise and other public statements that they made, you can reasonably assume that's why donors, who's your donors, other donors, individuals who don't want to have discrimination, who want to be for Black Lives Matter. Why? Because all lives matter,
of course,
if nothing else. Then that would be the fraud. The woke corporations, Greg, I'm less concerned about. They had their own mission and leftist and additional reasons to do that.
Understood. Understood. The people of Indiana, I think they're well represented by you, sir. Todd
Thank you.
Rokita, Indiana Attorney General, to be continued. Come back soon, and we'll be right back.